On today's show, I'm joined by Ben Shelton, attorney and founder of Shelton Law Firm here in the Low Country. Ben began his career as a prosecutor in South Carolina's 14th Judicial District, where he quickly gained extensive courtroom and trial experience handling serious and complex cases throughout the region. Since transitioning into private practice, he has built a reputation representing clients in personal injury, insurance, and property litigation matters, helping clients recover millions of dollars in disputed claims and legal matters. Beyond the courtroom, Ben is deeply rooted in the Low Country community and brings a thoughtful, people-first approach to both his work and his life. In this conversation, we talk about advocacy, resilience, leadership, and the responsibility that comes with helping people through some of the most difficult moments in their lives. Hey, Ben. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
So I'm going to get right into it because for me, I love to hear about work. So what was your first job?
Off the record or on the record?
Yeah, let's do both.
Okay, well.
You're definitely an attorney.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I think any statutes pass, but 12 years old, I was a dishwasher and a pancake cook and sometimes a waiter at a place called Singletree Inn
I love
in
that.
Danbury, North Carolina. And it's on top of a little mountain. It's a little resort, if you can call it a resort. So I just go up there. I was washing dishes. A funny job. It was the first job I had was washing the pans one night, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just scrubbing the back of the pans with a
I
Brillo.
did it.
And scrubbing. And everybody's laughing in the background. They just let me do it, you know? But I didn't get all the way clean. They stopped me after about 2 hours. They said, we got to stop this today. So
Well, I was a dishwasher at one point. And
Yeah.
I always tell my kids when I'm doing the dishes, I go, by the way, you understand when I was younger, I did the dishes at a job. And all right, Dad. Okay, we know. But I started early too.
yeah. So, you know, I think I lost that job when I turned 14. I said, so now you need to do payroll, right? Anyway,
Taxes.
Yeah.
Taxes. And then what about after that? Then what'd you do that?
After that, I was a soccer ref.
Okay.
Did that, and then I kind of stayed in food and beverage generally. Lots of odd jobs, mowing people's yards. I lived in a rural area, a little town, so people needed help.
Yep.
And
You did whatever it took to get
did
it
whatever
done.
it took.
I love it. I love
Through
it.
college, you know, I did a lot of waiting tables, and that was always a thing I could pick up and find a way to get a job,
Yep.
no matter where I was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Waiting tables was the one job I was not good at. And I want to do it again because it bothers me that I wasn't good at it. Because for me, when I was younger, I just worked.
Yeah.
And I was so focused. But when you're a waiter, you need to be personable too.
Yep.
Right? You need to have conversations. And for me, it was, okay, I got to bring the food. I got to do this. So I wasn't very good at it. And now that I've gotten older and I understand more, for some reason, I want to go back because I feel as if the one thing that I wasn't good at.
I don't know, man. I don't know. If you're good at what you do,
I
I don't know
know,
if you
I
want to
know.
go try to wait tables.
That's what my wife says.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough job.
Well,
I've had some high stress jobs, and my workmares, you know, your nightmares about work to this day are being in the weeds, if you know that term,
yeah, of course.
waiting tables,
Oh, okay.
being triple sat, quadruple sat,
That's a rough.
and forgetting to fire something.
Yeah. You learn a lot.
Yeah. So that's great background. It actually helped me for my job now a lot.
100%. Yeah, because it teaches you how to interact with people.
Yeah.
My kids have a job, you know, they started early too, and it's at a ice cream shop. And I think it's great because they learn how to interact. And that's one thing you need in any job, in relationship jobs. I mean, you're an attorney, right? So
Yes.
we'll talk about that, but you're in a relationship business, right?
Correct.
So that's some of the skills that you learned early that you can reflect on now. So tell me a little bit about what you do now.
Litigation attorney. Own my own practice called Shelton Law Firm.
Okay.
When I say litigation, it's civil litigation, do a little bit of criminal litigation as well. That's a background I had at the beginning of my legal career. But represent mostly plaintiffs,
Okay.
do a good amount of personal injury, do a lot of insurance bad faith, and do some construction defect and construction litigation. Those things have a tendency to tie themselves together. There's not a lot of attorneys that practice in all three of those areas. However, it can come in handy to know codes, ordinances, whatnot when you have a premises liability case, and then vice versa. Yeah.
You're a tough dude because those are hard. I mean, I see that you did a lot of prosecutions too, right? So you're in a trial attorney.
Well, that's what I wanted to do coming out of law school.
Okay.
And I wanted to get in the courtroom and get experience.
It's tough.
It's tough, and it's a hard thing to do. It's hard to find experience in the courtroom. Being a prosecutor is one of the best ways to do it. Doing insurance defense is a good way to do it. Being a public defender is a good way to do it. But there's a lot of attorneys that practice their entire lives, and they may be litigators, but they haven't tried a lot of cases, or they haven't been in the courtroom very much. That's no knock. They can be great attorneys.
Yeah.
But if you don't get that experience early, it's really hard to get it later.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah.
So you must, I'm assuming it's similar to when you give a presentation, you're really judging how that jury or whomever it is that you're talking to is taking what you're saying, and you have to pivot in the midst of it. Is that correct?
It is. It can be a little bit dangerous too, because you never know what the jury's thinking.
Yeah.
And most of the time you're in court, it's rare you're in front of a jury in court. Everybody thinks you're in front of a jury all the time. That's very rare, especially these days. It's rare and rare. Criminal court's more often than civil court. But a lot of times it's the judge, and it's really dangerous to assume what the judge is thinking based on their mannerisms or what questions they're asking. You really don't know. So you really have to try to be clear, concise. Don't put any fluff out there as much as and we're attorneys. Attorneys love to talk.
No.
Tell right now.
That's why we asked you to be on this.
That's right. That's right. So, but with a jury, you can poll a jury afterwards. And you can reach out to some of them. Sometimes they reach out to you. And it's always interesting to know sometimes the folks that are ignoring you the most are the ones most on your side, because they don't want to show the other side their bias, which is what I've learned.
Interesting.
So you really, if they're nodding at you, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
But it could be the same thing. They could try to be make you feel good.
Yeah.
Where they're really not with you at all.
Yeah. But they don't want you to know that.
Right. They're being polite. We live in the South.
So you grew up in North Carolina, you said?
Okay. Stokes County, Danbury was the town. It's the county seat of Stokes County, North Carolina. That's just north of Winston-Salem, south of Virginia.
Okay.
It's in the foothills. We call it the mountains. We have a little mountain ranges there separate from the Blue Ridge, but it's commonly known as the foothills.
And that's why you did a lot of odd jobs and lawns and all that stuff.
A lot of odd jobs, lawns, work wherever you could find a place to work. Worked in the only restaurant within like a 10-mile radius, There might have been 2 other diners.
Did you bike there?
Honestly, I did.
Yeah, of course.
I did. And it was on top of a mountain.
Oh God.
And so it was about 3.5 miles. I didn't bike every single day, but my folks were really busy.
When you had to, you did.
When I had to, I did. And it was uphill both ways. It happened to be downhill both ways. So.
In the winter, you got to worry about that because, right? If it's icy.
Well, icy, very rarely in the wintertime would it was snow there, even though you're kind of in the mountains in North Carolina.
Oh, interesting.
But it was more of a summertime job. They were busy in the summer. So it was more hot.
Okay.
Yeah, hot. Getting up a gravel road on top of a mountain on not really a mountain bike.
So
that was fun.
Lead into what made you want to be an attorney, or where did that come from? Was there something instilled in you, or what is it that made you want to do that?
Well, I'm really not that sure. I just had a feeling that I wanted to be an attorney. And I was in, it's actually at Sunday school one day. I think I was either sophomore or junior in high school. And my youth minister, we were talking about something that was going on. And I'm a justice advocate. I'm all about justice, right? Yeah. So, and I'm not trying to say that funny because it's true. And I feel strongly about certain issues. And so I was advocating for a cause, and I can't even remember what it was. And so, Ben, you really should think about being an attorney. I was, well, I actually kind of am thinking about that. And that stuck with me, that comment. And then, but undergrad actually was a classical voice major. I was a music major.
Okay.
I went to a liberal arts school called Guilford College. So it wasn't a conservatory or anything along those lines. So you got a broad-based education.
Okay.
And was still with the idea that I'm probably going to go to law school. And then I took an early retirement, played music for a few years.
Oh, there you go.
And then enrolled in law school after 4 years out. Yeah.
So you got the experience, and then maybe you realized, all right, I need to make some money.
Yeah. I need to not be working when everyone else is off.
Yes.
That was really it. I'd met my now wife, and I knew I wanted to have a family. And I didn't want to be up until 2 in the morning all the time
On
playing
the
music.
weekend.
On the weekends, and then waking up and singing at church the next morning
Oh, yeah.
in a professional choir.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that was that, and also not making any money. All those things combined.
When the family starts coming in, that starts.
yeah.
You start to think
What
more
are
about
we
that.
doing here? Yeah.
It was fun. I enjoy it, but
was.
I don't know if my wife is going to enjoy it in a few years.
She might not be my wife
Yeah.
if we keep doing it, but we'll see. No, she was always supportive and still is. It's amazing. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, what type of skills do you think an attorney needs? Right?
Well, it's like it could be almost anyone. Anyway, I mean, there's so many different attorneys in so many different areas of law now. And practicing. If I to focus on being maybe a litigator or a quote unquote trial attorney, someone who's comfortable in the courtroom, you have to be comfortable in your own skin. That comes in many different shapes and sizes. Some people are very introverted, but that's their superpower in that they plan, they think, and they know exactly what they're going to say. Other people are very extroverted, successful trial attorneys, and they plan, they think, but they can also be confident in winging certain things where they're not going to write out their entire opening statement and memorize it. They're going to have some themes and just fly and kind of, I call it, kind of jam on it, so to speak. And there's benefits and detriments of both of those approaches. So I think you have to be comfortable in your own skin. You have to be confident. You have to work hard. You have to prepare like crazy. If every hour in the courtroom, someone who's doing it right has worked at least 10 hours outside the courtroom for that hour.
Wow.
And that's, I would say, at the minimum.
Wow.
Yeah. Preparing for that moment.
Wow.
So it's a lot. And people want to know why litigation is expensive, why people take big chunks of contingency fee cases and personal injury cases. That's why. It's a lot of work that you don't see.
So you mentioned introvert and extrovert. I always like to ask this question. Would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Definitely an extrovert that has introvert tendencies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's certain things I'm very introverted about, but I think in general I'd have to be an extrovert. I don't mind. I'm not scared of going up and saying hi to people. In fact, I love meeting new people, learning from new people. But there's times I just want to be left alone.
Of course.
It's
funny. I would say I'm the opposite. I would say I'm an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert.
There you go.
So my natural inclination is to be introverted. But obviously, as time goes on and you like to talk to people, I can be an extrovert. But I think my natural inclination is to be an introvert. And I find there's a good amount of people that when you look at a business owner and someone who's successful in a certain business, most people just automatically think that they're just extroverted every time. At everything. Because you have to be. But most of the times that's a skill that you acquire.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you realize, first of all, you have to.
Yes.
So you do it.
Yeah.
But so what, your practice, what made you want to start your own practice as opposed to working for other firms?
It's another question, kind of like being a lawyer. I don't have a origin story on that. Something that developed over time.
Yep.
And I was a prosecutor for almost 6 years, and both with Duffy Stone and Scarlett Wilson, and then back with Duffy Stone, and learned a ton from both of those offices and mentors I had in those offices. I knew I didn't want to be a prosecutor for life, and there was nothing wrong with that. For a profession, it's very honorable. And
it taught you a lot.
It taught me a ton.
Yeah.
But I want to do other things, and I was lucky to get a job with a good local law firm. Brought me in, put me under their wing. Learned a ton there, and I think it was just maybe that entrepreneurial side or independence, whatever it might be. I just wanted to do things, not that anyone else was doing anything incorrectly.
Yep.
I saw things that I wanted to do my way.
Absolutely.
And also being a litigator in a small town, it's hard being in a larger firm. Obviously you want to always be kind to people, even if you're suing them. Hard to explain sometimes, but you want to treat people with,
doing that.
Yeah, you want to treat people with respect.
That's a skill in itself.
Yes. And but there's a lot of conflicts that arise. You get to know people and through the community, and it's hard being in a larger firm doing that type of work.
Yeah.
You're not going to have any cases.
Yeah.
So that was another part of it, I'd have to say, is that ultimately I wanted to be able to make sure that the cases I could bring in.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm in wealth management. I have my own practice. And the reason why I did it was because not that others did things incorrectly. I just had ways that I like to do things.
Right.
And I thought that that was the way we wanted the practice to be. And I've learned a lot from being at other firms and bigger firms, but there were certain things that I wanted to do a certain way. So anyway, I get that too.
Yes.
So if someone is going to set up, or they're currently in and have their own practice, right?
Yeah.
Or let's say they're in a working for a bigger firm.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is some of the lessons that you learned that you can tell them
First
in
thing,
your own practice?
don't be an island. Do not be an island. Whether it's and don't think you just have to talk to lawyers.
Yeah.
Talk to business owners. See what works for them. Talk to them about how they, hire help as soon as you can. Don't be afraid to hire employees or contractors, whatever you need. It's too much to do by yourself.
Yeah.
But specifically with the legal field, it's dangerous to be an island. You need to you need to find the people you know and trust, your friends, your confidants, your mentors, and you need to nurture that relationship.
Yeah.
And reach out to them more than you think you need to.
Yep.
They need to hear from you too.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
And that's that. I think that's the number one thing.
And by the way, you reach out to them, they'll reach out to you as well.
Correct.
Right. So it's a reciprocal relationship.
It's reciprocal, and answer the phone whenever you can. When those people call, answer the phone, return the phone call. You know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like your mom calls, your wife calls, you better answer.
Oh yeah. All right. I pick up that phone right away.
Yeah. Or call them right back.
Yeah.
If you can't get right back to them. Those types of relationships you need to treat. You need to put them on the top shelf, so to speak. You need to guard them and be jealous with those.
It's when people say, "Oh, so and so is lucky." And look, we all need luck in business. I get it, but I also believe in you make your own luck.
Yeah,
and that's probably a perfect example. You answer the phone.
Yeah,
when you answer the phone, things could happen. Most of the times they don't, but they could.
Yes.
Or maybe you see that person where you were talking to them a lot and interacting with them, and then you see them in the right moment, and there's something that they need help with.
Correct.
And then you're there for it. So I believe in luck, but I also believe you make your own luck.
Yeah, I believe in luck. I definitely believe in luck. I believe in being, there's things that fall in your lap, but you have to be ready to catch them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people they don't have the right equipment.
If you don't have the employees to handle it. So that's probably
Right.
another example of why you hire people, so you could take advantage of opportunities.
Correct. And it spreads the net. You get to know more people. It provides ideas, different experiences, different backgrounds, different belief systems, just things that you can learn from and learn how to interact with others.
Yeah.
Going back to that jury question, like how do you relate to people? That's really what it comes down to.
Yep.
But as far as legal business is concerned, and then the other thing is finding methods to avoid the grind every day, because it's so easy to fall into.
I agree. I like that.
It's almost impossible, but you have to actively seek out tools.
Yep.
And ideas, people,
Yep.
software, whatever it takes to find a way to not just be putting out fires.
And you get that from other people. That goes back to the whole relationship and interacting, right? You
Right.
get that from other people.
Correct.
You mentioned mentors. Have you had mentors in your life?
I've had so many mentors.
Business-wise, particularly.
Business-wise.
And even if it's personal, too.
Yeah. So a former firm, to name names, Art Andrews is there, and he's just a very funny, incredibly brilliant guy. Art, if you're watching, kudos to Art.
Art.
Art's the man. Terry Finger is a big mentor of mine.
Okay.
Great man, great lawyer, very, very smart. Growing up, I had so many mentors. I start crying, man.
Yeah.
You got.
I like it. We're getting deep here.
Ministers, friends, coaches, my parents.
Yeah. It's great.
Grandparents. It's just people that teach you how to live.
Yeah.
What to value.
Yep.
Those are the people you want to be around.
See, this right here just shows to me that relationships are so important to you. And that's probably what I'm getting out of this. Your biggest success is relationships are so important.
It's all about relationships.
It's amazing.
That's how we get cases.
Yep.
It's relationships.
Yeah.
We try to do a good job with advertising advertising is affirmation. When someone with a relationship sends somebody your way, they look it up and they're like, oh, this person seems legitimate. They seem to have their act together.
I've heard good things about him.
That's
Creating your own luck, right?
That's creating your luck. You try to treat every single client, every single relationship. You can't do it. It's impossible to treat them as your only. Yeah. But when you're speaking with them
at that moment,
it's them. And when you're working on their case, it's them.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, this is a podcast about wealth, right?
Yep.
So I'd like to finish off with this question. How has your definition of wealth evolved over the years? So from when you first started working to now, or maybe it's the same, but I'd like to hear.
I don't know if it's evolved. As you're a kid, you think of wealth, you think of riches, you think of glory, you think of big houses on a hill, whatever it might be, a nice car. All those things can be true. I think wealth is a state of mind in so many ways, meaning that you can not have a lot in this world materialistically wise. Not that there's anything wrong with that, if that's what you're seeking and that's what drives you, particularly if you're driven to share it. But I think if you have health, if you have people in your life that you care about, if you're able to take care of the people in your life that you care about, relationships, that's wealth.
Yeah.
It's the you get wealth from friendships, from community members that are willing to give back to you because they know that you'll give to them.
That's right.
So,
it's interesting, and I'm going to finish off with this. So, and I tell my kids this, my definition of networking, everyone says, oh, you have to network. My definition of networking is doing something for someone and expecting nothing in return.
That's brilliant. It's great. I
That's
love it.
Networking.
Yeah, that's networking.
Yep.
It is. It's doing a good deed without expecting one in return.
And it usually comes back to you, but if you're doing it and you're not expecting anything, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. That goes with the practice of law.
I agree.
As well. Absolutely.
Relationships. I'm sure you do that and didn't even realize you do it. All right.
That's true.
Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. It's been great.
A lot of fun.
And we'll see each other.
Yeah.